Thank you for joining me. On today's Bible blueprint of the Old Testament, we are looking at the book of Lamentations. Lamentations is 25th in order of the Old Testament. There are 5 chapters in the book, and the type of book it is prophecy and major. Overview on the book of Lamentations. Written by Jeremiah, the book of Lamentations shares his sorrow at the destruction of Jerusalem and the wickedness of the people. Having warned and prophesied of the event for over 40 years, Jeremiah grieves Judah's ruin and captivity. He writes a series of poems expressing both God's view and his own feelings, which are closely aligned. Now, the book of Lamentations was written around 585 BC. The time periods covered are 586 to 585 BC, and the author is the prophet Jeremiah. Now, there are 4 sections to the book of Lamentations. Section 1, Jeremiah mourns the formerly beautiful city. We see this in chapter 1. Jeremiah recounts the destruction of Jerusalem. He touches on several topics, including weeping, loneliness, affliction, labor, grief due to sin, captive children, and hunger. Section 2, God's anger expressed. We see this in chapter 2. Jeremiah writes from the Lord's perspective, expressing anger, then the people's perspectives as they cry out in misery and sorrow. Section 3, the depths of despair, the height of hope and faith. We see this in chapters 3 through 4. Jeremiah describes the wickedness of the people and their suffering in great detail because of their departure from God. He describes a foreshadowing of the suffering and crucifixion of Christ. He also describes what hope God's promise of restoration as the people repent. Section 4, further imagery and a hope in God. We see this in chapter 5. Jeremiah prays regarding the miserable state of the people. He praises God and invokes his mercy for the Jews and long suffering towards them. All right, that brings us to the end of our overview on the book of Lamentations. That's all for now. God bless.